Alright, so this video is a teardown of a Manfrotto 560b-1 hybrid video monopod. And essentially I had a few questions that I had in my mind before purchasing this monopod. And some of these questions were, what does the inside look like? So this is the feet themselves for the monopod base, and essentially how it works is that there's a pin right here that scrolls down and locks into place. What you do to remove it, there's a little rubber gasket right here that adds pressure, so when you pull this adds friction, and when you let go, this is actually still putting pressure. So when you're ready to use it, you just press the button in and then drop the legs down. So that was one of the questions I had. In terms of the quality of finish, looks pretty good. There's a rubber base on the bottom, which is about the same. It's actually a little bit higher than the plastic tabs right here. So that was one of my questions, is if you put this down with the legs folding up, what will hit first, the base or this rubber thing? And the answer is the rubber thing. Okay? Alright, in terms of the base, in order to access the base, you need a hex screw, which if you own a bike, you have a multi-tool hex screw, since it's kind of standard for servicing your bike. And you have 3 hex screws, which I won't put on this because it's pretty greasy. And you move it from here, 1, 2, 3. And essentially how this works is the inside has a rubber base, which is how the monopod stands straight up, and then when you start moving it to the side, there's less rubber contact so that you have more of a range of motion. There's still some friction, but there is still that rubber area there. It seems a little dry here, so that's probably one of the reasons why you're wondering why I opened this up, was that it was this little sticky, and I'm gonna go ahead and clean it off and reapply some grease in here. Now the key issue is you don't want to put too much grease, because if you put too much grease you compromise the rubber area, and the rubber area allows the monopod to stand straight up. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at the bottom. So essentially another questions that I had was, how easy is it to service the fluid head, and essentially it is all you need is a screwdriver, boom, right here, and this comes out with a standard screw. You can leave it in or leave it out, and essentially the screw comes out. Put that over here, and this is what the fluid mechanism looks like. So essentially there's no screw threads on this. Sorry, the lighting's really bad here. There's no screw threads in this, but as you can see, there's just a hole for where the thread goes through, and it's just lined with lithium grease, as you can see here. So here's what the fluid head looks like, or the fluid base looks like. And it's just a whole bunch of lithium grease, and there is also a rubber gasket right here. You can't see it. I mean, it's there, that little rubber gasket. So essentially, if you want to make the fluid head a little bit smoother, you can clean up the grease or add some grease of your own. What I want to do is move some of the grease in here with the screwdriver, and then just move it down to the base of the monopod here. So it was a little stiff for me, so I'm gonna go ahead and clean this out, and yeah, that is pretty much it. So that is pretty much it, the Manfrotto 560b. This has the bushing here in order to use the monopod heads, and yeah, that's just a quick breakdown of the Manfrotto 560b-1 monopod.